Hi guys, welcome back to more Stokelona on the Force 9's YouTube channel, continuing the Stoke City save on the FM 2016s, currently still in the beta. And today we've got a very tough game. We're against Man United at Old Trafford, who are sitting 5th place in the Premier League. Apart from a couple of surprise packages, the table looks pretty normal. Well, I'd say normal, but Chelsea are top and they've lost one game and they've lost, 6 so far. But you know, surprises in that Watford are up in 3rd. Southampton are unbeaten, they're down in 8th. Bournemouth are in 7th. So there's some surprises in there. Sunderland doing well as well. We are at the wrong end of the table. We're down in 16th with 2 wins from 5 and 3 defeats, which is not great form. We haven't really had... Man United is the only first real tough team that we've had. We haven't really had difficult... Well, every game's been difficult, but games that we are capable of winning, we haven't won, apart from 2. So... things could be going a bit better. The signings I've made haven't been great, but I've made 2 more since. So Felipe Gutierrez has not impressed me in the slightest. Oviedo's been okay. You know, he hasn't really done anything wrong exactly. I made 2 more signings. One, you know, quite an old experienced signing, quite an aged player, and another one who I hope can add something, but we'll see what happens with him. So let's look at these signings then. Only one game today, the Man United game. I'm offering Mike Marsh a possible coaching role. The former Liverpool coach, of course, that was sacked along with McParland. So I sold Eric Peters. I did get some money for him in the end, 2 million for him, and Jonathan Teixeira has gone on loan to Scunthorpe because he wasn't really needed. So, other players. So, I got Richard Dunn in on a free transfer. He's 35, so he's a bit old, but I think he can sort out this back line in Shawcross's absence. It's only for 1 year. So, I think Shawcross, while he's out, Dunn, he's played 2 games yet and they're both from the bench, but I think he might start today, try and sort out that back line. And I bought Michu. I mean, yeah, in real life, he's gone to like a 4th tier Spanish team. But on this game, you know, he looks okay. I mean, his training... his attributes are all decreasing because he's 29 and he is declining. But I think, for at least for now, he should be okay. He can play sort of in the hole. He can play as a striker as well. So yeah, that's why I bought Michu. It was only 1.2 million, so it's not like I splashed out on him. That's all I can make at the moment. I was going to try and buy another winger on deadline day. I was going to try and buy Adam Johnson, but unfortunately I ran out of time because I forgot that the deadline day closes now at 6 PM and not midnight or 11 o'clock, whatever it is. Yeah, it closes at 6 o'clock now, so I ran out of time trying to sign Adam Johnson, who was on the transfer list as well, so I'm a bit annoyed that we didn't get him, despite any criminal charges he's had or whatever. So let's go through the games we played off screen. I played 5 games, and as you can see, a bit of a mixed bag. So our first live com of the series, of course, it was a 3-0 home defeat against Crystal Palace, Wickham scoring, and then Bamford getting a brace in the second half. Then we lost again. This was away to Leicester, and we actually got, you know, the trophy for getting the first competitive goal, but we didn't even really score it. I mean, we didn't score a goal. This was a Wes Morgan own goal that got our 1 goal, and that put us ahead. But 10 minutes later, Leicester replied. They came from behind, as they always seem to do. Mark Albrighton, 10 minutes after that, put it back to 1-1 in the 41st minute. And then in the second half, who else but Jamie Vardy got a brace to make it 3-1 to Leicester in a game where we had the lead, didn't really deserve it, and then we threw it away. And yeah, the strikers were underperforming, and the guys off the bench were not much better. So I'm going to try and sort out those strikers because they're not impressing me in the slightest. In the next game, though, we did actually win. Another own goal, though, so that was the winner. We were behind in this game. Gylfi Sigurdsson scored in the 10th minute to give Swansea a lead. Just before half-time, Walters got the reply, our first goal that we actually scored. Yeah, John Walters got the reply. And then just before the hour mark, John Joe Shelby put it into his own net to give us a 2-1 lead. And that was that. Walters, you know, played well, and no, not a bad defensive performance after some pretty poor performances in past games. Volsgaard had a good game, the guy that was signed for Stoke in the summer in real life from Leverkusen. Had a good game. He's hasn't been too bad actually, Volsgaard. He's been a pretty good player for me. Next game was the Capital One Cup second round. We drew Bury at home, so a favourable tie, but one that could be, you know, a bit of a a bit of a slip up, but we did find. Well, I say we did find him. We needed extra time. John Waters scored again, 17th minute, to give us the lead. Peter Clark equalised for Bury in the second half, taking extra time. And 111th minute, the captain Glenn Whelan scored to make it 2-1, and it put us through to the next round, where we've got an away tie against Newcastle. So much tougher draw this time round. And then we moved on. So yeah. Fixture congestion already. We had the game against Swansea on the Sunday, on the 23rd, and then we had a cup game on the Tuesday. So there were, a bit more than 48 hours between fixtures, which should not be happening at this time. They could easily have either put the Swansea game on a Saturday or moved the Bury game to Wednesday. I don't know why it didn't do that, but there it is. Next game was a 2-0 defeat away against West Ham. A tough tie, definitely. We conceded a penalty in this match. Mark Wilson had a dreadful game at the back, and we substituted him about halfway through the second half. He conceded the penalty, which was converted by Mark Noble. And then, we tried to get into the game. We didn't have a great deal of shots, and we didn't do very well. I started Bojan in this game, and he didn't really do a great deal. And it's actually, there was one of my coaches saying that Bojan is not up to the task of being in the first team. And if that's the case, then I don't want him. But I thought he'd be a great player for this save because he's very, very underrated. And, apart from those injuries he had with Stoke, I thought he'd be a fabulous player. But so far, it hasn't turned out that way. He's been very poor. West Ham did get a double their lead fairly late in the game. 81st minute, Andy Carroll made it 2-0. And then we moved on to the next Saturday where we faced Norwich at home. Norwich went down to 10 men not long after the restart. Alexander Tete sent off for a second yellow card, and we took control of the game from there. And 5 minutes after the red card, Marko Arnautovic converted to score his first of the season. The assist by Peter Crouch. Much better defensively. Bardsley had a good game at right back, and Vorskla with another good game, and Arnautovic with a goal. And Shaqiri played well as well, which is good to see. So that's what's been happening, and I've showed you my transfers. So let's get into today's game. But first of all, let's have a look at the myriad of injuries that we have in our squad. So team selection. So let's have a look at all these injuries then. There they are. They've gone down a bit. I mean, Mohamed Diouf is back in action. Crouch is back. Apart from that, I don't think there was anyone else who was really missing. But these guys are still out. So Glenn Johnson came back from an injury, and then a few days later got injured again. So he came back from a twisted ankle in September, and then literally days later he injured his back, and he's going to be out for a few days yet. A few weeks rather, 2 to 3 weeks. Jeff Cameron is recovering from a hernia. He's close to a return. He can be played, but I don't want to risk it. Mark Muniesa, the centre back / left back, is out for 4 to 5 weeks with knee ligaments. They're all long term injuries, which is really annoying. Shawcross is still going to be out for a few months yet with his back injury. Affalay is out for between 12 days and 3 weeks with a knee injury. And the young Oliver Shenton, 17-year-old, he's out for 2 weeks with a knee injury. So a lot of injuries, and that seems to be a running theme with this beta for a lot of players, it seems. Let me know if you have injury problems as well, because at one point I think we had about 11 injuries, if you include the ones in the under-21s like Mike Williamson, who has the face injury, which is keeping him out for years. So that's that. So we're going to do a quick pick, and we're going to stick with this 4-4-2, which has been working fairly well. And then I've also been sort of dropping a guy back here, or putting the guy in the hole if we think we can attack. I'm going to leave it as a 4-4-2. I'm going to go over defensive formation because we're at Old Trafford. So yeah, I do want to change these mentalities around. So I'll cut here until I've actually done it. Okay, so this is the team we're going with today. I haven't changed it a great deal. I made one change in the middle there, you can see. So Butland's in goal. You've got Bardsley on the right back as a limited fullback. Oviedo on the left back as a fullback on attack. Volsgaard as a central defender. Wilson as a pool playing defender on stopper. I'm going to change Volsgaard to a limited defender right now. Centre of midfield, you've got Glenn Whelan, the captain, as a ball-winning midfielder, and Van Hinkel as deep line playmaker. Jonathan Waters as a defensive winger on the right, and Shaqiri needs to be an attacking winger. Wing support, I think. And then you've got Mohamed Diouf as a defensive forward, and Peter Crouch as a trequartista. And the bench looks like that. You've got Bojan, Don, Arnautovic, Joselu, Adam, Gutierrez, and Michu. So let's submit the team. We're going to stick with a defensive mentality, And we're going to see if we can, hit them on the counter maybe. But try and sort of frustrate them as well. So there's no pressure here. People aren't expecting a result here, but let's try and, at least put up a fight. So let's see how we do. I'm not expecting a great deal here, but we will see how we do. So I have the match stats, and I also have Man United's formation. I should probably look at their team, actually. So what are they playing? So it looks like there's one signing they made on deadline day, which was Gregory van der Wiel at right back. So Darmian has shifted into centre. So you've got De Gea, Blind, Smalling, Darmian, van der Wiel, Schneiderlin, Carrick, Memphis, Mata, Young and Rooney. So that's their team. So they've got more midfield players, and that's which makes me think we should have gone with one striker maybe, but we'll see how we do with the 4-4-2, and if we don't really get anything out of it, then we'll shift it to a one striker formation. Diouf can always move to one of the wings if we need him to, and then we can maybe shift Shaqiri into the middle. But they've got a throw in here, United. Mata on the ball now. Daly Blind. Is it Daly or Daly? I don't know. Carrick on the ball. And Walters with the ball back now. And he tries to find Crouch, but Smalling blocks it out. Mike Smalling. Here's Memphis. I'm going to call him Memphis because that's what he wants to be called. Less than 10 minutes played, and Mata has scored for United. And that's put us down to 16th. We were in 16th anyway, but I think there were some games beforehand. We haven't had a single shot yet, and Van der Wiel now is on the right, finds Ashley Young, and he's been allowed to... few saves made by Butland there. Went out for a corner. There's less than 20 minutes played. Walters with a header away, but Darmian gets onto the end of it. Ashley Young again, and he's cut out by Walters. Good defensive play by Walters there. That's why he's a defensive winger. And again, I'm struggling with words today. I don't know what's wrong with me with this series. I just can't talk properly. Walters on the ball again. Here's Van Hinkel. Williams in space. And that was a dreadful pass. Memphis on the ball again now. He's been brought down. Bardsley as a penalty. Great. Wilson's got a yellow card for a dissent. That's not what I wanted to see. Rooney, or is it Mata? It's Rooney. Has a chance to double lead, and I think that was a very cheeky Panenka penalty. It looked like it, but we'll have a look at the replay just to see. No, it wasn't. It was just a very tidy finish. And getting one striker. We've got a throw in though. The first highlight that we've really had. Oviedo on the ball. Here's Mohamed Diouf to Shaqiri. Can he get a cross away? He finds Oviedo. Van Hinkel. Shaqiri. Keeps it in play. Van Hinkel. Oviedo. Crouch. It's a reply. It's 2-1. Okay, we've got a goal. I'll take that. I want to score goals. That's one of the things I want to do. I haven't had a great deal of possession, but we've got a goal back, and it's half an hour played, and it's 2-1. There's still a chance here. Another throw in here for United. Memphis on the ball now. Schneiderlin into Mata. It's another penalty. Bardsley, that's the second penalty. Right, I'm subbing Bardsley. He's got to go. 2 penalties conceded in the first half. That's not good enough. Butland saves it. Okay, I'll take that. Fine. Rooney with the penalty. It was a terrible one. Butland actually backed off his line and made the save. But I don't know if we've been unlucky, but I'm substituting Bardsley because he's conceded 2 penalties. So we're going to move Wilson to right back, and we're going to bring on Richard Dunn. And I'm making 2 changes. Right, Whelan to there, Gutierrez to there. Right, there we go. There we go. Half time. I've made 2 changes, which is risky, but the way we've been playing, I think it needs to happen. We need to get some men back to, really help the defence. And we needed to get Bardsley off because he conceded 2 penalties, and that's not acceptable. 50 minutes played there. It's 2-1, which isn't a bad scoreline. And if we can snatch a point from Old Trafford, that would be fantastic. But we'll see what happens. They've got Smalling off and McNair on. So I'm not sure why they made that change. It said tactical. Glenn with another throw in here. Wilson cuts it out, and Crouch is on the ball now. Now he needs support. And he's tried to switch the play, but Depay got on the end of it. Schneiderlin to Mata. That's a good cut out, but it's up to Blind. Gutierrez, Depay. That's 3-1. Gutierrez did not cut out the pass. And Memphis has made it 3-1 to Man United. Shaqiri's free kick was headed back away. Matters on the ball. Schneiderlin, and now Man United are on the attack. Ashley Young, that's 4. So we're not controlling the game. We're just being completely played off the pitch. They've had 12 out of 19 shots on target. They could have had so many more goals than they have. 4 more clear-cut chances. I mean, they could have so many goals, but this is ridiculous. 76 minutes. Van der Wiel with a throw-in. Here's a Young. Schneiderlin. Van der Wiel. I didn't really pick a good game to live-com because I don't enjoy playing football when I'm not winning. That's been the thing with this save, is that I'm not... The reason I'm not having fun with it is because we're not winning. But that's got to be expected when you're a team that's kind of lower down in the league. De Gea's got an injury. That could be a blessing in disguise. Probably not, though. Right, we're going to make our last change. We're going to bring on Arnautovic for the disappointing, again, Shaqiri. I'm not too sure what's happening with these players. They are great in real life, but they just don't seem to be working in this game. I don't know what's wrong. 84 minutes. It's 4-1, which could have been a lot worse. This is damage limitation at this point, really. And it looks like it's going to end that way. Now Depay's got an injury. And it looks like we're going to be ending the game any minute. Matters on the ball. Come on, we've had 3.5 minutes of injury time when there was supposed to be 2. I get there's been injuries, but can we just can you just end the game and just put us out of our misery, please? Come on. If they score now, I'm going to be pissed. I mean, 5-1 is... Oh, okay. That was a terrible pass. It's all over. It's 4-1. I'm just going to say that was unlucky. There we go. Because, you know, they did disappoint me. But it was Man United. It was Old Trafford, so what do you expect? So we're staying in 16th. So after 6 games, we've won 2. We haven't got any draws, which surprises me because it's Stoke. And we lost 4. We scored 5 and we conceded 8. Which could be a lot worse, but we're not looking too good. And we've got some tough games coming up against Spurs and against someone else. So, yeah. Right. So, who do we have coming up? Newcastle, Spurs, Liverpool. And then Newcastle and then West Brom. So, I'm going to... Do you know, I probably won't have time to do a great deal of games. So the next game is going to be at the Hawthorns, I think. We'll face West Brom. And then that will take us up to maybe... Well, God. Man City, Arsenal, Everton, one after the other. That's going to be hard. We've got some... These games, that these difficult games, like, Spurs and Liverpool and Arsenal and Man City, they're grouped together very tightly. It's going to be tough to get through them. And this season is going to be hard. I mean, we're going to struggle to stay up. I know I said we want to aim for top half. We're going to struggle to stay up because this is going to be very, very difficult. I've got hiccups. Great. So we've got Newcastle coming up in the League Cup. I think that's in the 3rd round. And then Spurs, Liverpool, Newcastle. So I think we'll go to the West Brom game for the next live com. And hopefully we'll have some wins. Hopefully we'll have a few more points. And hopefully some of our players will start actually pulling their fingers out, because so far I've been underwhelmed by some of our players. But Man United go up the second with that win, so that was pretty emphatic victory really. But let's see what the future brings. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. We're going to suspend it for the next match. Great. And yeah, goof run. Nah. So that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below and leave any comments you might want to make. And if you want to see my videos as and when they turn up on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And hopefully things will start to improve with this save, because at the moment we're not looking too good. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.